Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Crazy Kitsune Gaming with another episode of the Fuga walkthrough. And this is going to be another relatively peaceful episode. And part of me kind of wants to ask, because right now I'm kind of planning on just making all of these villages their own episodes. But kind of tell me in the comments, would you prefer I just kind of threw them at the end of other episodes? Because I'm thinking that could be a good way of doing it, but I'm just not entirely sure. Anyway, before we actually get into the village, we have another piece of Pretzel's private journal, so let's go through it real quick. In all actuality, something seemed odd about this operation from the very beginning. The rumor regarding Colonel General Hax directly advising the Emperor without any discussion regarding the strategy of this operation may actually be true. The Emperor said, "We shall reclaim the lost lands of our country." I wonder if Hax got certain proof to support those words. If the occupation of Gasco was his motivation, then theory would dictate he should have occupied the capital city of Parisia. However, they knew to expect an invasion and were able to prepare their defenses. Around this time, it seemed inevitable the timeline of the operation would have to be extended. But Hax's goal was never Parisia, but rather the mountains far to the south. It appeared to be a viable area to set up base, but what if he had an ulterior motive? Alright then. So that is another piece of Pretzel's private journal read. There is one more piece that we should get pretty soon. Now then, let's actually get into this village itself. So, you would think maybe with the whole villagers giving you items thing, maybe it would, tone down over time? No, it gets worse. The stuff they give you just gets better as the game goes on. So let's head to the chapel, see who wants to give us something over there. Oh my goodness! The Burman army is ransacking villages and towns, taking the people away. Every village in Gasco is on edge. We might even be in danger here. Alright, thank you for giving us a repair kit. I don't know how this conversation resulted us in getting a repair kit, but okay, we'll take it. Alright, Credo Boulevard. A new episode of The Adventures of Sucker just started. I can't contain myself. If you haven't read it already, you can have this if you want. Alright, we have another episode of The Adventures that I'm still not going to read. War Memorial. Alright, what's over here? I heard the ill-equipped garrison was instantly done in by the Burman's sudden assault. If you value your lives, you should hurry up home instead of wandering around. Here, take some meat. It's difficult to find these days. Well, hey, at least he gave us something that I can't actually use because of the rules I've put on myself. Okay then. And market, yeah, I mean, I'll check the market, but I still feel we're not in a position where there's any one material we have that's necessarily useless. Like, we're still at a point where there are quite a few things that are still helpful for us. Later on, like I said earlier, it can be helpful, but right now it's just not what we need. And again, I really wish we kind of had a, normal money system that we usually get. Because, right now, the crew of this tank is just like my channel. It does not make any money yet. It just absorbs it all the time. Now, if you want to help me, change the status of my channel on that, then you could consider subscribing or even liking the video, but especially subscribing as it is very, very helpful and motivates me to continue making videos. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue the adventure. So yeah, my current strategy is have an episode with the town, go through the town, and then the beginning of the next level's intermission, and yeah. Just not sure if that's really a strategy that you guys really enjoy. I mean, I don't know. I don't get a whole lot of comments on my videos. I try to reply to most of them. Anyway, Chapter 3, 2 Arabesques. I hope I pronounced that right. Tosa, the ruined village, province of Dale, Gasco backcountry. Good God, that was a lot to read. The children stopped at a nearby village to look for clues where their families had been taken. However, this village was entirely deserted, ravaged by the enemy like so many others. There ain't nobody here, guys. There's no food. Boron, we're having an interesting moment. It appears this village is entirely deserted. Abandoning their search for clues, they returned to the Tyrannus, where they noticed something vaguely peculiar. A hatch they were sure was closed before they left was now hanging open. Without paying it much thought, the children went to start the engine and hurry along their way. It's moving! It's moving?! Thus, the Tyrannus sat off again, with two little stowaways on board, unbeknownst to the rest of the crew. Alright then, so now we have hitchhikers on board. Joy. Alright, to the intermission. Hack, what are we gonna do? The whole thing's shaking! It'll be okay, chick. We'll find some food. Maybe there's some down that way. Okay, let's take a look. I'm so hungry. Me too, I'm really hungry. As they scoured the halls for food, a figure of light appeared in front of them. You mustn't. When the twins screamed in surprise, the figure vanished without a sound. That second shout alerted the crew, who gathered around the twins. Who the heck are you, punks? Don't shout like that, Kyle, you'll scare them. Who are you guys? How do you get in here? We won't hurt you, so would you tell us? We're sorry. The twins apologized, explaining that they were looking for food since the vermin ransacked their village and took all the adults to the south. Unable to leave them on their own, the children invited the twins to join the crew. How about joining us and go save everyone? Would you like to come with us? It's not safe for you two to be alone. How would you like to come with us? Alright, we'll tag along. Alright then. Chick and Hack joined the crew. So yay, we have new crew members. Now, they will have their own, abilities and stuff, but I figure I'll explain that next episode after we're done with the intermission and everything. Alright then, let's go ahead and get into this. They accepted us as friends, but I wonder, what should we do? Well, maybe we should start with learning more about each other. We could use this kind of notebook. Oh yes, the notebook. Oh, joy. A notebook? Yes, everyone in the Tyrannus writes about what they want to do and how they feel in it. Hey, that's a great idea. It'd be nice if somebody granted my wish. This is where each child's wishes are displayed. Let's try granting Hack's wish. So he wants to scope the surroundings in the observation room. We haven't even been to the observation room yet. Okay. Let's switch the playable character to Hack and head to the observation room. Alright, sorry Hannah, I'm gonna have to switch from you for a moment. Yes, switch character. Hack wants to check the surroundings from the observation room. First, let's take the lift to the observation room. Okay. Well, actually, first I'm going to grab this object. Yes, iron scrap. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and head up. Alright then. And now, up to the observation room. And now, yes. Hello, observation room. So, we shall now observe. You used the periscope and gained information on the surroundings. Alright then, Tosa, a relatively large village in the province of Dale. Besides livestock farming, there are many shops and eateries. It is an important junction in the area. A new entry has been added to the library. Alright. So, Hack feels great. So we have now completed his wish, and he now feels goody-goody, and all that stuff. Whoa, this is so cool! With this periscope, we can see way far away. Children who are feeling great are more energetic in battle, and have a greater chance of success. Try to keep this great feeling by granting the children's wishes as much as you can. You are able to open the notebook at any time during the intermission. Alright. Oh yeah, and by the way, the observation room is now unlocked. Yeah, okay, funny. Yeah, I, definitely didn't know that. Okay then. So that is Hack's wish dealt with. So yeah, the whole granting wishes thing, it's definitely an interesting mechanic. It isn't completely necessary, but something fell over. But anyway, you don't have to do it, but if you know that, like, for example, there's a boss fight coming up, or just a lot of tough enemies in general, then it can be a good idea to do this, as this is how you actually gain access to a lot of the characters' hero modes. We haven't actually had a hero mode yet, and that's because you really can't have them until you unlock this notebook. So then, the task Plant Cabbage has been added. Yum. The task Plant Strawberries has been added. Better. The new area Pen and the task Tend Moo Sheep have been added. Alright then. Oh, by the way, harvest results for, yeah, all the last stuff we planted. Okay then. Now, fun fact, as soon as you get Hack and Chick, they immediately start with some affinity towards each other. Which means there is immediately a, what are they called? A link event to do. First I'm gonna grab this, iron scrap. Very critical that we have those. Alright then, Chick, what do you have to say? Hey Chick, what prank should we do next? You still want to do that? I'm tired of that all the time. Let's do something else for a change. Something else? Like what? Like helping everyone with chores or other stuff that needs to get done. There's so much to do. You sound like Mom. But Mommy's not here, so I'll get angry for her. That's not fair, taking Mom's place. Fine, I'll see if there's anything we can help out with. Yeah, I'll help too. Alright then, another brilliant, thrilling episode of Fuga Theater. But more importantly, they now have their link attack acquired. Good. Now then, there's quite a bit to do. I guess let's check the notebook. Let's just humor things for a moment. Interesting. So, yeah, I should probably explain how you even do some of these. So, Malt is saying that he is hungry. So, essentially, because of the rules I've placed on myself, again, I can't really do that. But basically, all you need to do is cook food, and then that's good. Now, Hannah wants to cook in the mess room. Essentially the same thing, just switch to her and then cook the food. Kyle wants to do some scrap fishing. That's easy enough. Now, for some of them, you don't actually have to specifically be playing as that character who wants to do the activity. So, for example, I could stick as Hack, for example. Then I could go and say, oh, I don't know, do the scrap fishing, get a silk line for it while I'm at it. Now we'll come over here. We'll use our silk line for fishing. And now let's go ahead and execute. Alright then. So what did we get? It was simply successful. We got iron scraps, used batteries, rusty barrels that are large. All of that is good stuff. Now let's leave, and yes, Kyle's wish is considered as complete. Even though we didn't specifically switch to him, it still counts. So that is something to keep in mind. Oh, now this next one. Socks wants to sleep. Well, see, I've already kind of discussed the issue with sleeping, and this is quite a unpleasant one for the characters to want to do. Because again, you're not really getting as much experience as I feel like you should from sleeping, and it costs 5 action points, and it's just whole buckets of unpleasantness. Now, what's not very unpleasant is Boron's wanting to plant some vegetables on the farm. Now, this is a pretty easy one to do, and in fact, I'm gonna do it anyway. Not that I'm actually getting a whole lot of benefit from farming, especially vegetables, but it is a easy task to do, and Boron's hero mode, which, again, the hero modes are what you actually get available by doing these notebook missions. So, Boron's hero mode actually makes it kind of worth it to plant some vegetables. So then, farm. Oh yeah, and we have all the new tasks. Yes, so now we can finally tend some moose sheep. Now, moose sheep they actually give quite a bit, because they actually give both milk and wool. Milk you use for cooking, and in fact, you use milk for quite a bit of the experience-giving foods. Because, yes, there are some foods you can cook that give you experience, and they are, in my opinion, the most powerful because, while the buffs of a lot of food are temporary, that experience will stay with you forever. So, tending moose sheep can be quite good, along with tending cluckin', because eggs are another thing quite often needed in most experience food. Okay then, now Boron wanted to plant a vegetable, so we will go with the most vegetable ever, tomatoes, because I know they count it as a vegetable, like you should. And let's go ahead and put down some strawberries, because, strawberries are just kind of great, aren't they? Alright then, execute. Alright then. And like the scrap fishing thing, yes, Boron is happy now because of that. Alright, what else to explain on the notebook? So, May wants to eat some bread. Now, this is one where they actually want a specific food made for them. Now, keep in mind, Malt's I'm hungry and May's wanting to eat bread can both be done with each other. So you can make the bread and make May happy, and because all Malt wants to do is just eat in general, then he is also made happy by that. So keep in mind, if we were actually allowing ourselves to cook, we could actually make 3 people happy all at once. Hannah would be cooking in the mess room. We would cook bread, thereby making May happy, letting her eat bread, and also making Malt happy, since he's just hungry in general. So keep in mind, you can sort of plan out how you're going to do the intermission to make as many people as happy as possible. It's actually kind of fun to do every once in a while, even if a bit irritating when things don't really fit together the way you need them to. Now then, Hannah wants to have some girl talk. This is a pretty easy one. Actually, no, it's not Hannah who wants girl talk, it's Chick who wants girl talk. And this is a pretty easy one. Basically, it just means that any female character, talking to them will go ahead and make them happy. Now, Hannah, fun fact, counts as a female character. I'm not sure if you noticed, but yeah, she does. So then, yep, Chick is right up there. So then we will just head over and talk to her, and it'll be easy as you like. I will help everybody. I mean, yeah, I hope so. Alright then, and that gives us some affinity. So then, yes, now Chick feels great. So yeah, that is the notebook, and honestly as much of it as we're going to do for now. Alright then, now, speaking of affinity, I actually want to get a little bit of affinity between Chick and Hannah. I feel like that will be... There is a certain strategy I like to use that means that having affinity between Chick and Hannah is a very, very good thing. It's so big inside the Tyrannus, I'm gonna get lost. Yeah, please don't. Please. I kind of... We kind of need you. Especially for next episode, because I'm gonna force myself to play as both Hack and Chick. Alright then, chance to deepen our bonds. This is a good thing. I picked a bunch of flowers. What should I do with them? I'm pretty sure the one that makes her most happy is use them as decorations. So we're gonna tell her that, even though it's more nutritional value to eat them. Yay! The Tyrannus will be so pretty! Yeah, or clustered. It depends on how you actually decorate them. So then, we now have our Link attack and everything. Well, once the Link event is over, and we've increased each other's support effects. So yeah, Chick has a really good support effect of decreasing skill cost. Now, for something like, oh I don't know, a healing ability that you're going to be using quite often, that's a very powerful support effect to have. And that's why I kind of want them to gain some affinity with each other. Alright then, next episode of Fuga Theater coming your way. Hannah, can I help with something? Oh, you want to help out, Chick? How sweet of you. I want to be like you when I grow up. I'm happy even if it's flattery. Thank you. What's flattery? Oh, it's like going overboard with compliments. Really? I want to say lots and lots of good things about you, so I'll flatter you. I see. That's not really what it means to flatter someone. Maybe it's hard to understand. Huh? Okay then. Interesting conclusion we came to there. Alright then. So, their Link attack is now acquired. That is very, very good. So, now what do we want to do? What I really want to do is check and see if we have upgrades. We unfortunately do not. What do we need for upgrades? Oh, right, yeah, we just need to expand the facility in order to do anything, and we still haven't quite gotten that ability yet. Well, that makes me really lost on what to do. We've already done the, yeah, we've done the farming stuff. Well, is there anyone who Hack can be really good with? I wonder. I should probably go real quick and actually check his support effect. I forget where you go. Oh yeah, characters. Hack, where are you? I will explain more about you later, but what is your support effect? Increases skill damage. Right. Yeah. It's definitely a pretty good effect. Especially when there are characters like Malt, who have skills that are all about dealing damage. So, there's definitely no benefit whatsoever or ulterior motive to just having Hack and Malt just talk to each other. Nope, absolutely innocent. Hehe, I will help out. Yeah, I'm sure you will, even in a more ornery way. Alright then, let's go and talk a bit more. I saw a ghost inside the tank. Yeah, we have a bit of a ghost problem. And unfortunately, we don't even have any Ghostbusters around. They're in a different universe. Okay, there we go. Chance to deepen the bond. I want to be a cool adventurer like Sucker. Oh yeah, who... I'm definitely sure that asking who's sucker will not make him happy whatsoever. I think it's either you'll have to train more or you'll need a gentle heart, and for some reason I think gentle heart will make him more happy. Okay, so that does make him the most happy. So fun fact, when you actually do those, when you actually pick a choice, it will play a different sort of musical jingle depending on how successful or correct your answer was. So that one that it just played a second ago, that's the one that it plays when you are the most successful. There are two others for when you're more middle ground and you just outright fail it. So just keep that in mind. So far, we've succeeded in every one of those little chance to deepen the bond things. That will definitely change as we unlock more and more characters. So then, a conversation between Hack and Malt, happening in a Fuga theater near you. Hack, did I hear you were making people mad with your pranks again? Huh? Are you here to yell at me too? No, but I'd like to hear what's been going on. It was just a little prank. I'm free to do whatever I want, aren't I? Free to do what you want, huh? It might not be a big deal for a small kid like you to pull a couple pranks, but... What do you mean? Do you think the Burman army was free to take all the people from our villages? No, that's different! That isn't a prank at all! You're right, I don't think so either. As long as you understand the difference, it's okay. Okay. Alright then, so now we have another link attack in the bank. Good. Now then, what to really do with the rest of the intermission? There is sometimes an awkward point where you just kind of don't know what to do. You either have too much action points or too few of them. It's quite painful. Oh yeah, Boron's enjoying a paw bun. Have fun with that, buddy. Okay then. Well, another silk line, that's nice. So who really needs... Boron, could you quiet down? I'm trying to record a video, buddy. Who really needs more experience? Obviously Hannah. But who do I really need to increase Hannah's affinity with? I guess we could... I can still hear you over there, Boron. You ain't sneaky. I could go and continue to get more affinity with Chick. And honestly, that's... I can still hear Boron chomping on that thing from down here. Calm down, man. Let's go and talk with Chick just a little bit more, and then... I guess we'll scrap Fish. That's just kind of the thing to do in this game, really. Hey, you wanna play? Or maybe play a prank? No, that's Hack's job there, Chick. Alright then, a bit more. I can help out too, okay? Yes, you have mentioned such facts. Alright then, more affinity. And let's talk again. And we get a chance to deepen our bond. So it seems to do it after every 2 talks. Because I talked to her once, then twice, and then the 3rd time is this chance to deepen the bond. So I think it seems to do it after that pretty consistently. Hey, can I play a prank? No, again, that's Hack's job. I'm not sure what makes her most happy. I think let's do it together. I think that makes her nice and cheery. Okay then. So then, our affinity has increased again. Now, fun fact, you won't actually get another Link event or Link attack power-up every single time your affinity increases. You will actually get a Link event at affinity level 2, 5, and 10. Just want to, like, kind of make that clear. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to her again. Let's tell stories, or maybe draw? No, we don't have time for such things, Chick. I like the idea, though. Okay, then. So down the elevator, and we shall spend the rest of our time scrap fishing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure... there's a lot of different things we could do, though, because we could also try and get more affinity between more characters. But then again, I've always kind of thought that battle is the most reliable way to do that. Oh, let's just scrap fish. It's that thing you do when you don't know what else to do. Scrap fish. Yep, we're using the silk line. Good. Go ahead and execute. And May came to assist us. Very good. Alright then, that should be more stuff, right? Scrap fishing was highly successful. Oh, yep, that definitely looks like stuff to me. Very good. And Hannah's increasing in experience more and more. I wonder, can we get her to the next level before we end off the intermission? That would be nice. That would be a neat little way to end things for today. It was successful. Okay. So, more stuff and more experience. Oh, it's gotta be one of those. It's gotta be a real TV tapper, isn't it? It's gotta be one of those, they leave us so close to the next level that you feel like you can just get that last bit of experience. Thank you, Kyle. It'll be one of those, thank you even more, May. It'll be one of those, we can actually feel like we can get her leveled up just by, like, tapping on the TV. It never works, though, but sometimes you think that. Okay, use battery, iron, scrap. Please tell me we get to level 9. Yes, thank you. Thank you for not leaving me here tapping on my TV. I appreciate that. Ooh, new skill mastered. White grenade. Attack that may inflict weakness on an enemy. Alright, yep. Hannah she is now evolving. So, what does weakness actually do? Well, weakness is a little effect that means that any enemy you hit with weakness and successfully apply that debuff, they actually deal less damage. So unlike smoke, that means that their attacks have a chance of just not hitting at all. Yes, we'll do that next episode. The weakness will just mean that all of their attacks deal less and less damage. So that is a very good effect. And the reason I'm leveling Hannah up is because she can actually get an ability later on that means that she can apply that to large crowds of enemies. So that is why I'm kind of focusing on leveling her up. Now then, we will get into the next battle, but that is a sort of task to tackle for next episode. So until then, I will, I mean, I guess I'll just see you next episode. I've already asked you to subscribe in my own little funny, strange way. At least I hope it was funny. 90% sure it was funny. Wouldn't have said it if it sounded unfunny. Anyway then, have a good day, everyone.